Hello everyone, welcome to another video of our road to Evoke 2018 demo party. It's Sunday morning, or actually it's Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon now. So I'm just eating some stuff. But I thought I made a movie or a video, like a status update on what I've been doing for Evoke. So I've been a bit demotivated lately to do stuff, so I've been playing games instead and announcing some other stuff, also doing stuff for work. But you know, that's normal in a demo process. You don't always have time to work on your entries, or you're not always motivated to work on your entries. It happens. You can take the time to brainstorm a little better, the ideas, maybe try out some things, different things than you would normally do. I tried drawing a bit again. I hadn't been drawing in a long while, but I couldn't really fit it into anything from the demo ideas that I've been having. I also tried following up with two ideas. The one from the well. Had this demo idea talking about wells and going deep into the well and do something like Lovecraftian about it. Main problem right now for that is that I don't have any background effects for it. I have some images that I can use, but I think if I have a cool soundtrack, then I might have some ideas for some effects, and I can either ask someone if I want like a specific scene, 3D scene, or if I want a specific post-effect stuff, I can ask a better coder than me if they can help me out with that specific part. But I need to nail down the concept first. And I don't think I mentioned this before. The idea for the well demo came from some of Flow's demos that were released at Payback, which had like a lot of post-processing on top of clips taken from like lost footage from movies. I don't remember the name from them right now. I think one of them is F22 and the other one is black. That one is red or pinkish red, which is like, and that has like some, it's like intensity height. The intensity of the pixel also works as a height map, so we draw some lines on top of it using that. I think it's all on the shader, and then also has like some bloom effects, some hypno glow to sync things a bit better. That's one of the demos I'm particularly thinking of. I might look it up and put it on the description below afterwards. And then there's another one from also Flow where they'll use a bit of that. And I don't know what it's called, but that one is black and white, or at least it starts black and white. I don't know the name. I don't recall the name anymore. I would have to look up on Poet. Anyways, that was what I was originally thinking when I was considering the well and did. I got some public domain images. I did some style transfer on them, so they all have the similar palette. All of it very dark green, some traces of yellow, very faint, but mostly dark green. So yeah, I came up with a narrative for that. I knew I needed some voiceover or a storyline of some sort, so I tried to record my own voice. I listened to a track in particular that I have that's like 20 minutes long, just, you know, dark ambient drone stuff that I might or might not use on the demo, still pending. And I tried writing some words, and what I came up with was writing and recording. What I came up with was the story of an old guy that tells you, it's narrating you in the first person as if someone is interviewing him. I think that's important to give some sort of immersion to the whole thing. And what it does is he tells his story of when he was young. He traveled a lot around, and he got a lot of experience. I put some quotes in there to make it a little funny. I don't know if I should keep them or not. Like I put like a Blade Runner quote. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. I also put a quote from De Niro from that movie where they were like shooters. What's it called? I don't know the name of the movie, but the quote is something like, "You and I are both from different tribes, but sometimes you have to stick with the ancient ways, with the old school ways. Now we're almost extinct," something like that. I have to confirm it to be able to know that I'm doing the exact quote. It's something like that. And it was funny because you mentioned old school and using the old school ways, and on the demo scene there's a lot of what is old school, what isn't old school, and if you should follow old school or if you just should try to innovate. There's a lot of discussion surrounding that theme, so I thought it would be a nice little poke. But might not work, might just ruin the immersion, so I don't know if I should keep it or not. That was just the first take. Anyways, this guy is telling his story when he was young. He was traveling around, he saw a lot of things, and the thing that really stuck with him the most, one of the thing that he could never explain, was this one time he was going through the Appalachian Mountains and he got lost from his guide. Appalachian Mountains is somewhere around the US, by the way. And he got lost from his guide, and he was wandering around the forest. He couldn't find a source of water. He got lost for a couple of days. He was getting hungry and dehydrated. Now that I think about it, not being able to find a source of water for 2 days on the Appalachian Mountains is a bit stupid. But you know, maybe people won't notice. But yeah, anyways, it's like maybe I should relocate it to some desert or something like that, a vicinity of some desert. Maybe there's a desert near the Appalachian Mountains. I have to look it up geographically. Anyways, he's lost for a few days, sets up camp. He's afraid of wolves that's gonna terrorize him. You have to put these little nuances, making sure that he's always afraid and scared throughout the place. That's one of the things I learned from reading Lovecraft stories. Very descriptive, and then always putting the fear element, the unknown element in there somewhere. He's finally found by this monk, but the monk speaks a strange language which he can't identify. He has these strange robes. His face is all dirtied up, like soiled is the word I use to describe it in the text. His face is soiled with dirt. Could be mud, could be blood, could be a lot of things. And he was speaking this language that the guy couldn't understand, but since he was alone and hungry and thirsty, he followed the monk, and the monk led him to a cave. The cave's entrance had some runes or scribbles of some sort, and look a bit pagan to the guy telling the story. Of course, what he didn't know is that they were actually alien. And yeah. So he went inside the cave, and there was this something boiling, and he thought it was something like rabbit stew. Could be anything. I call it rabbit stew because I have rabbits, you know, and I wouldn't eat rabbit stew, so I think that's probably what I'm into it. Also in The Hobbit they do some rabbit stew. Or actually, the other one, you know what I'm talking about. The other book, the famous one. Or the other trilogy. Anyways, eats that rabbit stew, what he thinks is rabbit stew. It actually smells horribly, but he eats it anyway. It also tastes horribly, but he's so hungry that he eats it anyways. And shortly after, it's because maybe he's tired, he doesn't really know, he he starts getting dizzy, he collapses in a corner of the cave, or he goes to sleep in a corner of the cave. And he has this dream where he is walking back in civilization and finding a well in the middle of a forest or a backyard. I don't think I specified on the text where it was exactly. He finds a well, and it's like the well is calling him, pulling him, like he wants to look into it, to look into the infinite void that is inside the well. And on the dream, he's hallucinating colors, so he's seeing everything green, like the images that we're supposed to play. And he hears this voice calling him, beckoning. He feels like the air is pulling him towards the well. And he smells the well, the odor coming from the well, and of course it's a horribly foul stench. And that's one of the reasons that makes him wake up. Well, of course, he doesn't really wake up. It's like an Inception, lucid dream kind of thing. He's still dreaming that he's waking up and walking around civilization again. Finally found this guide. Blah, blah, blah. And he ends up finding another well. And the well is calling him again. And he hears this weird chants in the background. And he keeps being called to the well. He wants to look inside, but he knows that it's dangerous. Finally, he smells the stench when he's already too close and starts peering into the infinity, and he wakes up again. Still lucid dreaming. Repeat a few times. Yeah, and eventually he wakes up. I'm not exactly sure how eventually he wakes up, like, for real. I didn't really explicit it on the text either. Might be worth thinking a bit more about it. And he wakes up, and what he thinks is a monk is chanting these words, of course in this strange alien language, which he memorizes because it's the same words he would hear whispered in the dream. And he gets scared shitless, and he runs away into the night. It's full moon, lucky for him. If I could find like an astrological date where like planets are specially aligned or something, you know, an event that only happens once every 10,000 years or something like that, and I could pinpoint a specific date and include it in the text, that would be something. So it means that that ritual could only have happened on that specific day, and he was the chosen one for the ritual. Anyways, the impression that he has from the whole hallucinating dream thing is that he was being summoned into the well, and he had to sacrifice himself to the well, and that his sacrifice would open up a door to another dimension for this overlord to come through and conquer the whole earth. Thing is, every full moon he still dreams about the well, not with the same intensity as originally, but still has the same dream, and he's still scared shitless of it. And that's the story. The well pulling me in all the time to this day. And in the end he says, I'll tell you this, I know one thing for sure, I'm never going back to West Virginia. Because apparently West Virginia is one of the counties where, you know, the Appalachian Mountains are at. So yeah, that's the idea for the well so far. I recorded my voice saying that, and in the beginning of the voice I was trying to make the voice of an old man. I didn't really have the accents nailed out, or nailed down. I need to, you know, listen more American people from that area, or from the area where our person supposedly originally is, because he's like on a pilgrimage through America, so maybe he might be, I don't know, California, Miami, even Mexico, or Canada or something, I don't know. Might even be European or Asian. So yeah, I need to nail down that accent and try to re-record the vocals. Also, I did them a bit too fast. I think I need to listen more to the tempo of the song and make them a little more slow, but then the demo would be way too long, so I don't know. maybe just cut some excerpts of the thing and just use that instead of using the whole narrative. I don't know. So yeah, this is where I'm stuck on the well demo so far. Not stuck, just have to try a few more things and see if it works out or not. And yeah, the other idea that I've been having was to do like this interactive game of some sort or performance of some sort. I was thinking more about a version of the demo scene for Cards Against Humanity. So it would be something like Cards Against Demo Scene. And I don't want it to be like just people playing on stage. I want it to be people with smartphones being able to contribute somehow. Still not sure how the mechanics would work. If they would just vote for the best card selected. If they would be designated teams. And like we have a team for... We have 3 contestants on stage. And each of them needs to be dealt like a card to begin with. And or several cards. I think it's 10 on Cards Against Humanity originally. And yeah, so the people who would be on the team will be able to select like 1 from 3 cards to give the deck to the person. So they would feel like they had a part in deciding what would be shown up on screen as those guys' cards. So that's one idea. The other idea is that they just vote on which one has the best card. But then I would have to show the cards on the big screen so people can actually see, not just follow what we are saying on the mic on stage. So, I don't know. And then we would have the problem of the questions. I would need to make a lot of questions. And sentences that would make sense in a funny way. Could recycle some from Cards Against Humanity itself, I guess. And then add some demo scene elements to it. But I don't know. I'm not particularly convinced on the proper direction to go in the idea yet. But I know I want to involve the audience, not just people on stage and the audience looking at it. And I do have Assisted Performer more or less ready to do that. I know that Express got an update and that it changed the way that it does WebSockets and something might not be working. I have a faint recollection of that. I would have to look back at the code. But yeah, those are the 2 main projects that I have bubbling on my mind so far. I also did a few plasma effects for, I don't know, background, inspiration, just messing around with Shader Toy. I also tried out cables, trying to get some stuff working on cables, to get my own shaders working there. I managed to get it working. I had this particular idea where I wanted to have like the same image, or different versions of the same image, and then I would have like some sort of filter. I just made like a sinusoidal filter just to check, and whenever it's up, you see one version of the image, and when it's down, you see the other part of the image. Then I did one for vertical and one for horizontal, so you would always see different parts of the image. I could complicate it further and change like the periods of the sinus, so it would be like a wave of different versions. And the different versions, of course, would be style transfers to the same image. So that can work, that cannot work, I don't really know. I was also thinking that the style should reflect the music somehow. So if the music is happier, it should happier style. Have some sort of synesthesia kind of thing. Maybe with the notes, you know, figure out which note can be associated with what color. When you hit to a specific note, you see more yellows. When you hit another note, you see more blues. That kind of thing. And with that, I could do like a melody of some sort. Or ask someone to do a melody, because I'm not very good with melodies. I can only do like very slow ones with just chords and a very good absinthe preset. Maybe tweak the preset a little bit, but I'm not really good. I don't play piano much. I have a nano keyboard. I can hit the keys, but I can't like read music. I don't know which one is which. So I play by ear. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, those are the two projects that I've been thinking of. Let me know what you guys think. Do you have any other ideas, any suggestions? I was going to talk a little bit more on this video about what stuff you guys should remember to bring to Evoke if you're a new demo scener, but it's already 20 minutes long, so I guess I'll save that for the next video. So yeah, that's my road to Evoke so far. Not having a lot of success, but you know, we have ideas, and these things take time. They're not from overnight. You know, there are two different ways that you can make a demo. One is have a complete script and then follow the script. The other one is just try a lot of different stuff, like try to do a different effect each day, and eventually you have a collection of effects that you figure out a way to connect them all. And I'm trying both at the same time. I don't have any results yet. I haven't connected things yet. The world is more or less connected, but I don't know if it will work. But I will give it a try and see how it feels, because it's with these dark ambient kind of demos, it's more important if they move you or if they bring out this mood than if they actually work, because mood is everything on these demos. If you don't have the mood and you don't have the technicality aspect on it, then the demo is just worthless. And I know that I won't have any technical aspect on this demo for sure, unless I suddenly become a shader expert and start doing these awesome shaders out of my ass, which is unlikely to happen in a month. So yeah, I need to focus on the mood aspect of it, like creating an immersive ambient, and then dragging it out as farther as possible without getting boring. It's the minimal artifact opus all over again. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. Sorry for the long video, but you know, I'm eating, so it takes a little more longer to say the things that I want to say. But I think it's important that we also take our time explaining ideas properly, not do those rushed 5-minute videos where you don't really understand most of what I'm saying. And if you want to see the whole video, you'll see it. If you don't want to see the whole video, then fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. You haven't seen this part, so it's fine. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye everyone. Take care.